We have a warning about Antifa from that Karlin Borisenko. Then we have to get this warning out to Trump. She's actually asking us to get it out to Kash Patel. I think we can help her with that, don't you think? Welcome to Doug in Exile. This is where the happy patriots are. As we fight Antifa, actually, I'm really more laughing at them. I fear Democrat voters more than I fear an Antifa homegrown terrorist group. I know that they're bad. I know that they're evil. I know that they're worse than most people. I'm just saying, it bugs me more at the giant amount of Democrats as opposed to the tiny amount of Antifa. By comparison, let's get to Karlin Borisenko. And you guys really liked her last time she was on the show. Here she is. Let's watch.
I'm Karlin Borisenko. I'm an analyst and independent journalist covering the far left in America. And when I tell you guys that the left operates completely out in the open as long as you know where to look for them, what I mean is they operate completely out in the open as long as you know where to look for them. For instance, I was handed this flyer at the Seattle Anarchist Book Fair when I was undercover at it the other day, and they are bragging about the fact that they are planning on attacking ICE in Seattle.
Okay, now wait a minute. Did I catch that right? She was at the Seattle Anarchists Book Fair. I just go to Comic-Con and we trade comic books. Seattle has an Anarchists Book Fair. Just for anarchists. Sorry if you're a Democrat or a Republic into the Republic, or what if you're an oligarch? Sorry, anarchists only.
On Mischief Night, which is the night before Halloween, and they're giving you instructions on how to join. Fuck ICE, fuck prison, fuck Israel, fuck the state. Mischief Night means fight back. What do you think that means? Block up, that means black bloc. For autonomous direct action, that means they're going to do something violent or destructive. And then they give exact coordinates on where to meet in Seattle to go and join them on their little escapade. So here's hoping that ICE and the FBI are paying attention, because the Seattle Antifa are planning on attacking you on October 30th.
There's the warning. October 30th. Get the word out. Remember, guys, like I said, I'm not here to scare everyone. I don't like doing the spooky, get afraid, but social media is how you alert people. So copy the link to this show or just send a general word out to be careful to the FBI and to ICE agents that there is a planned attack by these anarchists, these Antifa folks. In this case, it was in Seattle, but we don't know how widespread this thing is, depending on how much funding they get or how many other cells are also supporting this one that are being called into existence. So I really like this gal. I'm going to keep following her. Here's Nick Sorter with the first time he says, this is a safe house, exclusive look, first known video of inside the Antifa safe house. And this is what I mean by, I don't like Antifa. I mean, I hate them. I don't like them. I think they're semi-dangerous, but they're so few and they look like a Dungeons and Dragons game got out of hand. Here's Sorter. Palestinian flag, of course, and then he gets a look in the window. Check this out. Oh! And she just comes out in her puffy vest, but you notice how well fed they are? These guys are porky, pork chops. These aren't like skinny terrorists like out in Hamas. They're laughing. Now we're going to look in the window. They didn't close up the bottom of the window, so he peeks in there. It says, democracy has not survived capitalism. So these are anti-capitalists. There you go. Anti-capitalist. And they're all sitting around. Look at these D&D people. So give me your 20-sided die. I make a perception roll. Ooh.
Get the fuck back.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
That's what I thought.
That's what I thought. Look at how tough he is in his ski mask. And look at the guy on the right. He looks like Smeed from Peter Pan. Smeed!
I'm just checking it out. I'm on a public sidewalk. Close the window if you don't want to see in. There you go.
Hey, you guys need a bard?
You're ugly. You're a fag. You look stupid.
Now, why would he say the FAG word? I thought these were supposed to be sensitive liberals. Are we allowed to say that word? I'm on the right. Are we allowed to, or just the psychotic left allowed to use that alleged slur?
You got
Hey, wait, can we talk? Is it live?
Okay, so now he's just showing you the route. Lots of Palestinian flags and a Mexican flag. Wait, where's all the American flags they were handing out during No King's Day? he just goes over the map to get there. Oh, and there's the orange umbrellas. Guys, I'm not afraid of Antifa. I'm more afraid that like my second cousins are voting Democrat and our normal people, normal nurses and teachers are voting Democrat concerns me more. I'm more worried about the vote in America reflecting the will of the people than I am of these psychotic handfuls of leftists that will blow people up or do bombings or whatever. Because in the end, the Democrat vote will kill more people than Antifa will. All these cells across their entire existence combined, I guarantee it. And now I'd like to just, I'm going to play this previously recorded, a word from our sponsor, Chapter. Some of my seniors have complained about the number of Medicare calls they get every day by these really bad companies just trying to make a buck instead of finding you the right plan. Here's the proof. This graphic, this guy up top says, I get about 10 calls a day from these Medicare scammers. You guys are all hearing this, right? The next one says, thanks, Doug. You saved me $75 off a month on my supplemental same coverage. Same coverage, $75 back. That's good money. You can invest that. I responded, thanks, glad you called. If many of you have called Chapter, tell me your response below. I might get you on the show. Chapter called me today and saved me money. They checked 28 different plans to get me set up. Don't wait till the last minute, gang. My audience, you guys should call today because you're blowing them away with how responsive you are, even though the phones can get a little clogged up, for free. An unbiased Medicare help. Dial 631-961-8696. That's the phone number they give just for my audience. 631-961-8696 and tell them Doug in Exile sent you. And now back to our show. Let's get back to it with more shenanigans from these radical protesters. Remember, the theme is we don't fear them. Here's Kate Daviscourt. Justin, Antifa has created a hit list of journalists, live streamers, and conservative activists who are posted on flyers outside the Portland ICE facility. The flyers urge their protester comrades to be on the lookout for the individuals mentioned. So this is going to naming people they fear. Normal people, those they fear showers also, apparently, and using bars of soap. Those featured on the flyers include journalists who attended the Antifa roundtable at the White House, such as myself, Cam Higbee, Nick Sorter, Nick Shirley, as well as other independent journalists, streamers, activists, including Honey Badger Mom. So these are just a bunch of very small journalists that they're telling you to look out for. Now, that's not all there is. We're going to get into more of the anti-ICE, which is related to the Antifa, anti-fascist, anti-ICE. Here is, this is Democrats are building a government-run ICE tracker. That is, so you'll be able to find out where ICE is if you're illegal and you can avoid them. A digital hit list to hunt down and expose immigrant agents nationwide. So here's Karen Bass, world's worst mayor. LA is going to vote itself into the ground. The Democrats are going to destroy that city. Never put an X next to a Democrat.
I shared this with the mayor. Over the course of the next couple of weeks, the Oversight Committee will be launching on their website a master ICE tracker.
Now, why would Robert Garcia, that's not a Japanese name, is it? Garcia? Robert Garcia wants to do an ICE tracker. Can I have an IRS tracker? I want to know when the IRS is looking at my taxes. That's all I'm saying. You know, they're federal agencies. It doesn't matter, right?
Where we're going to be essentially tracking every single instance that we can verify that the community will be able to send us information on.
Why don't we, I think those of us on the right should make a illegal alien tracker, like face recognition. It tracks non-citizens and follows them around and puts it on a phone. Why not do that? Oh, because it's probably against the law, against your privacy. Here's breaking ICE director. Todd Lyons just sounded the alarm a massive wave of immigration raids is about to hit New York City. This is already going on right now, even as we speak. That's going to be kind of the theme of the ICE raids now, is they're hitting New York. It's time.
Well, I think for the people in New York, they're going to see ICE and our other federal partners do the law enforcement mission, right? This wasn't something just organically happened overnight. We decided to go hit Canal Street. With any criminal investigation, you have to build up intelligence. You have to work with sources. You have to go ahead and have the right evidence and work with the U.S. Attorney's Office. But you will see an increase in ICE arrests because there are so many criminally illegal aliens that have been released in New York specifically, and especially that are being harbored in, New York from the lack of cooperation there in New York City. So you will see us making those criminal arrests to make New York safe again. But I will tell you that it's definitely intelligence driven. It's not random. We're just not pulling people off the street. There was a specific reason based on criminal intelligence and criminal activity that we showed up on Canal Street.
Oh, good. Let's get them. So they're being accused of just randomly showing up. Everyone knows New York, probably outside of Chicago, but New York is peopled with criminals. That whole thing, that whole giant, talking about downtown, Manhattan area. New York is like cement just stacked up, and they stack the people up like rats there. Everyone talks about how great New York is. Of course, New York even hates New York. They have those little I love New York mugs. But New York, if you ask them, they're all snobs that only talk about going to Europe. They're like, when I was in France, every New Yorker I ever met, that's not an exaggeration. That's an absolute empirical fact. Science have done their data on it. All New Yorkers make that upper inappropriate accent sounding like Thurston Howell III and just rave about France every time they're asked what they love about America. It's a fact, not an opinion.
Job. By the way, Secret Service actually has a role in going after counterfeit merchandise too, not much less that the individual themselves is illegal. They are federal fugitives. And if we're not going to enforce a nation of laws, then we become a lawless nation. And I don't think...
we already are a lawless nation. Sir, speaking of illegal merchandise, the illegals are bringing in. I got to roll out the Wheelo again. Wheelo. Because this was made in China, I believe. These used to be made, they used to be made in Detroit, with like a metal cast, and now you buy them on Amazon and everything comes from China. So anyways, the illegals, I know this is shocking to all of you, but they're breaking up these illegals, and they found out that all of the illegals were selling counterfeit merchandise. So shocking, an illegal alien is involved in an illegal black market to pay his bills. I wonder if they're paying taxes. Do they pay their fair share of taxes? Remember when Biden said paying taxes is patriotic?
Anybody wants this. This is why the Democrats' popularity with the American people is at the lowest it's ever been, because they can't rationalize their position. They're more interested in protecting criminals than they are protecting law-abiding citizens in their own community.
Look at why do they all look like radicals? They're all dressed like Jawas from Star Wars, the little garbage collectors, and Tusken Raiders. They have capes and hoods on. Do they ride banthas around in the desert? Okay, we're going to get to, I thought I'd give you guys some good stuff here. Here's breaking ICE just conducted massive ICE raid in New York City's Chinatown, where illegals are known for selling, here's those counterfeit goods. Chinatown. Of course, I don't see any Chinese people in Chinatown. I just see white Antifa liberals. Bust them. Get the zip ties on them. Put them in solitary confinement like you did J6. Good thing the police have body armor, because you know how dangerous Democrats are. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police. I like it. Doing their job. Throw them up against the van. Okay, zip tie them. Get out the bear. Wait, there's an Asian girl in Chinatown. Looking out. What is she wearing? What? She looks like an anime character. And yes, stand in front of a car. Wow. New York, what a hellhole. What a hellhole. I feel bad. There's a lot of conservatives in New York, and they live in this garbage. ICE out now. They're screaming, thinking they're why ICE is leaving. I see blonde girls. I see pretty girls, New York women. They're all pretty. So they got a bunch of hot supermodel runway models over in New York to scream at ICE. Okay, just so you know, when the illegal aliens come and kidnap a girl, you're going to be first, supermodel girl. Now, speaking of supermodels and hot girls, here's J.D. Pritzker.
This is what happened. This is what happened. People's rights started getting taken away. People got accused of being immigrants. This is before the Holocaust really took place.
Oh, he's comparing us to the Nazis again. Before the Holocaust took place, immigrants were othered.
People were accused of being immigrants, and then laws were passed to limit immigrants, and then
accused of being immigrants. Was that like when I was accused of being unvaxxed and the police almost threw us in jail for not having a passport? Remember when you were pushing for that, Pritzker? These people
who weren't actually immigrants were called immigrants, and then
weren't actually immigrants were called immigrants. I mean, he's just trying to find an excuse to call us Nazis. I don't even want to spend too much time on this guy because he's such a non-player. I do want to expose more on Antifa and ICE. Antifa and anti-ICE agents. Here's another one from Portland. Now, the accusation against the Portland police is that they're working to help Antifa. So look, this Antifa kid brings this Portland policeman his phone, says he found someone who is, he believed, violent, and then he plays the video for the Portland police officer, and the Portland police officer records the Antifa person's video right here. Watch. He's trying to, the guy on the right's trying to snitch someone out, because Antifa, they're all snitches. He says he's pointing out who the person is in the video, and then the policeman records it. Okay, and then allegedly this policeman is going to go try to find the MAGA activist. Here's the explanation. Portland police aren't shielding Antifa. They're actively working against DHS agents. I cut them multiple times, taking videos from leftist protesters to launch investigations into Department of Homeland Security agents who used pepper spray on rioters. So Democrats are already ready. As soon as they get the legal advantage, they're going to come after the DHS agents who went after illegals. Again, lawfare. Pull federal funds from Portland, Nick Sorter says in all caps. Maybe we can get that message out to our people in the Department of Homeland Security, maybe even to Pam Bondi. Now, here's where the Portland police allow Antifa to walk across the street. They allow you to jaywalk. But you already know what's going to happen if you or I jaywalked. Listen to this lisping cop in Portland police who looks like a high school youth pastor.
Why are we allowing them to block the streets?
Yes.
So it's a delicate balance of people's First Amendment rights and then, allowing cars to move through. This is not like a one-way situation. Like, there are other ways to get people from McAdam off and on McAdam. So
blocking cars now, this police is saying, is defending people's First Amendment right. You have a First Amendment right. That's the right to free speech, is to walk in the middle of a paved road and block traffic.
As of right now, we're not going to enact.
As of right now, that means the law will change tomorrow if a Republican does it. But as of right now, if an Antifa, leftist, Marxist, anti-ICE person is doing it, it's okay. As of right now, he just declared it's your free speech right covers blocking traffic.
To prevent people from being in the roadway while they're practicing their First Amendment right. We are asking them to not be in the street if they can. That may change, but I'm
asking very nice to not be in the street. Might not always be that way. Yeah, when the Republican crosses the street, you'll get out the baton and start beating him in the head. You'll beat him to the ground, zip tie him, and throw him in prison without a...
Right now, they're allowed to take up the street space because they're practicing their First Amendment right to protest.
Okay, don't lecture me about First Amendment right, you goober. Portland police are compromised, working for the enemy. Meanwhile, look, here it is, 2 a.m. Democrats spent the night reading poetry. That's a very Portland thing to do. On the Senate floor, Capitol Police are being forced to listen to this nonsense while not getting paid. How bad is that? I wonder what poetry, reading some Ogden Nash.
So at 2 a.m. here, leaving the Capitol. We're listening to floor speeches from Democrats who have closed the government, and they're forcing Capitol Hill staff to sit in here all night and listen to them read poetry while they're not getting paid. So not only are they now closing the government, but now they're forcing our Capitol Hill workers, our police who keep us safe, all of the pages on the floor, to stay up all night listening to them read poetry because they think it's funny.
Yeah, they think it's funny. Well, I think the Democrats, when the Democrats go down, when the Democrats lose, that's when we'll start doing poetry. And the poem I would read is, Bill was ill, but in his delirium, he spoke of his wife Miriam. But Bill was an error, for his wife was a terror, known as Joan. It's one of my favorite poems of all time. Okay, let's do the final rioter, Democrat, radical caca. Here's Homeland Security. This rioter obstructed law enforcement and blocked the driveway so vehicles could not enter or exit the ICE facility, creating a public safety threat for our officers and detainees. He blatantly disobeyed the law enforcement officers to remain off federal property. Does the Oregonian, this is Oregon, plan also report on this individual yelling, quote, he hopes somebody kills you guys, and if they do, we should give them the Medal of Freedom, unquote, to our law enforcement. This violence against law enforcement must end. Now, remember, this is how the Oregonian reported it. Blind protester dragged. So a guy that threatened their lives, they go after him going like, poor blind guy. The blind protester was dragged, detained by feds, says agents picked the weakest person they could find. That's insulting to blind people also, by the way, insulting them with being weak. Any blind people in my audience feel okay about that? These people see you as weak. There's the blind person there.
Don't you f***ing tell!
Oh, he's got the F word. He's bald. He looks like Wallace Shawn from Princess Bride. Inconceivable! This is
me what to do, you
It's just going to be full of the F word because it's a Democrat. I'll bet he says he's a Christian too. I'll bet he says he's a person of faith. Fake Christians, fake Americans, fake patriots, fake freedom, fake voting, fake Democrats. They say they believe in democracy and voting. They don't. They say they believe in justice. They don't. They say they believe in the rule of law. They don't. Everything about them is fake. The only thing that isn't fake is they want power. They want to rip it from your hands so that they can be overrepresented, and you and I will be underrepresented. And that's why we never put an X next to a